Hey everybody, welcome to the ultimate YouTube channel all about world music and psychology. My name is Rosalie Elliott. I'm honored you're here. Subscribe so you don't miss a thing. Shout out today goes to Joel. I am going to check out La Fin du Show, the end of the show, the English cover by Jacqueline Lizzie. Now this song, let me get my facts straight. There is a artist from Quebec who passed away from cancer, sadly, Carl Tremblay, who was the singer of Les Cowboys, Fringants. And he wrote a song, I believe, what was it, on his last album? Before he died, he recorded their last album, one of the most beautiful songs called La Fin du Show, the end of the show. And this artist, Jacqueline Lizzie, does a cover, an English cover. And I am going to check it out. Are you ready? Here we go. Oh, I already like this intro. That guitar.
My life was spoiled like no one, I had it easy, I had fun. Excess became my all the time, I never paid it any mind. A dozen times on the planet, touring in trucks and jumbo jets, and whether Brussels or Canjack, God, I had fun you couldn't match. I played the biggest concert halls, from Paris back to Montreal.
I like the voice.
While bathing in the love
timbre,
and warmth
the vibrato,
of glory and all of its perks. One day the years finally catch up and hit you like a semi-truck, 'cause youth alone can't hold its own when time decides to take its toll. My health is slowly fading out, I search in vain for a way out, a single beam of light to grab through cracks of glory in the past.
Okay, this is heavy, knowing that he passed away from cancer. Very personal song.
Don't want your pity or your help. My life has been like nothing else. My body's fraying at the seams and begging me to show mercy. Tonight a shadow of myself will quit the stage and leave a shell.
Ooh, that was nice.
Setting aside the microphone. Tonight a shadow of myself will quit the stage and leave a shell. For me the curtain's gonna close.
Hey guys, is this the final show?
Oh, I love these harmonies.
I think we've reached the final show.
Ooh, this is
Kyle, is this your final show?
Yeah, this might be my final show.
wow.
Fuck, that's it. That's all I get. I'm out of time. It's my end of the line.
Oh.
And the life I love to lead. It's
Wait, I'm sorry. I hate to pause this. The way that she just went down with those notes and that beautiful low note fits so well to this idea of being at the end of the line, right? When something's descending down to the end.
over for me. Here's the thing, I can't even sing. My body's shot and I'm tired of my lot. I have reached the end of ends, my dear friends. My star is going out, send the curtain down. Let's give it one more round for the singer's final bow. Send everybody home tonight. No, I won't be needing the spotlight.
Wow.
I'll leave through the back without a fight. Throw my arms open wide and jump into the endless night. I could smile at least a while and say alright, it's been one hell of a ride, and that I have no regrets, but I'm too honest, 'cause in the end I can't pretend I hurt myself with every lie I tell, just a candle in the wind.
Oh,
burning
interesting
both
reference.
ends. 'Cause in my weary head there is no more hope, I only dream of rest. I gave you my final show. Send everybody home tonight.
She's doing this beautifully.
No, I won't be needing the spotlight. I'll leave through the back without a fight. Throw my arms open wide and jump into the endless night.
Oh, I love this switch here.
What happens after the show ends? Music or radio silence. What happens after the show ends?
Good night, so long, see you again. Or should I say farewell, the end? My brothers forged in blood and tears, we have already had our years. No, there's no trumpet, no boat ride, and there's no tunnel to the light. No, there's no hell, no paradise, that's all a bunch of bullshit lies. What happens after the show ends? This happens after the show ends. No matter grand or unrenowned, nobody gets another round. The only justice to be found is that we're equal in the ground. No matter grand or unrenowned, nobody gets another round. The only justice to be found is that we're equal in the ground.
Wow.
It's what happens after the show ends. It's what happens after the show ends. No matter grand or unrenowned, nobody gets another round. It's what happens after the show ends. No, there's no trumpet, no boat ride, and there's no tunnel to the light. It's what happens after the show ends.
After the show ends.
It's what happens after the show ends. Send everybody home tonight. I won't be needing the spotlight. I'm out the back without a fight. Watch me become the endless night.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Ferme le foulot, puis la lumière, je n'ai plus besoin. Originellement, c'était pas mon intention de publier cette vidéo le 15 novembre, mais j'ai fini finalement l'adaptation il y a 2 semaines. Et quand je me suis rendu compte que c'était presque l'anniversaire du décès de Carl, il me semblait approprié, je suppose. En fait, j'ai commencé cette adaptation quand la chanson est sortie. Donc c'était vraiment des mois de travail et je suis assez contente avec le résultat en tant que hommage et j'espère que ça vous plaît aussi.
Ouais.
Donc merci du fond du cœur de tout le soutien et tout l'amour que vous m'avez donné la dernière année et voilà, that's all I got.
Voilà.
So.
Wow. Merci beaucoup, Jacqueline. Oh, très bien. Wow. Okay, I was going to put this on my secondary channel where I often either put extra suggestions or try to bring spotlight to artists, but this is the ultimate existential fear, death anxiety song. And she did an amazing job, and I'm grateful she gave us this beautiful adaptation, English version, which made it easier to experience. Beautiful composition. Great job with the strings, with the harmonies, with the layering of vocals and the crescendo and the dynamics that it gave us. I love her voice, and I love the subtle vibrato, the fullness of her voice, the way that she tapped into her full vocal box and opened up as the song progressed. I like the texture of her voice, just the sound, the warmth, the clarity, the way she was holding those notes beautifully with strength, with conviction. I feel like she did very, very well, and I think she honored this, and I think Carl would, though I don't know him personally, I have a feeling that he would have loved this. The song is the ultimate existential theory song. If I wish Dr. Yalom, a psychotherapist and someone who deals greatly with existential fears and has written many books, and a author and a specialist that I love and admire, I would love to hear what he has to say about this song, because honestly, I feel like this is the ultimate song when it comes to dealing with our death anxieties and with our mortality. And dealing with it honestly, even in the end when she says, oh, the idea of paradise or hell or us coming back is all a lie. Now, granted, that's a theory, right? Some of us, we cling to faith and to the afterlife, to hope in paradise or the fear of hell, because that's how we deal with our death anxieties. There's many people that believe in reincarnation and some type of heaven, maybe going back to the stars, whatever your belief, that some would say is another way of dealing with death anxiety and with our existential fears, trying to somehow find hope in something greater than what we can grasp, because death is just something so hard to comprehend. All we know in this world is entropy and gravity and things being finite. Things break, things end, things get cold, things fall apart, we get old, everything just changes. And so the idea of death being finite, of going someplace we've never been before that we can't grasp, blows our minds. And so many of us, I think, would rather not deal to begin with. And so we either defy it, we try to do crazy things, live life to the fullest. You have people on various levels of that spectrum of either trying to live in abstinence and chastisement and morality and control, and then those who just let their freak flag fly, and those who focus on what is the word kumbaya boom bada bang, that's not the word, pleasure, and all of those things. I'm going to live my life to the fullest. This is my life. It's now or never. And you have people all across the board on that range of focused either on the life here or the life thereafter. Now, when I look at some of Dr. Yalom's work, I'm seeing similar mindsets to what is presented here in the song, which is nobody gets another round. There's no such thing as reincarnation, you're coming back, or no paradise or hell. Those are all just lies we've been told. That's it. The only sense of justice in all of this chaos that does not make sense, which is life and death and cancer and pain, all of the injustice that comes with that, the only justice that there is that we're all going to be equal on the ground. And I could see Dr. Yalom agreeing with a lot of this, the lyrics from the books and the things that I've read about his theories. But granted, even that is a theory. Even to say, in my opinion, there is nothing, we just don't exist. We were here and then we're not. And we won't know what death is like, because we won't know what we can't know, because what is not can't be known. That too is a theory. That may well just be another way of dealing with our death anxieties. There are those who find comfort in there being more once we're gone. And there are those who find comfort in the idea that there's nothing, that we just simply cease to exist. And unless you've been there and have come back, you can't really prove it, right? I mean, there are those who claim they've died and they've experienced things and they come back and they've done movies about it and written books. And I would not dare to say that they're lying, because I wasn't there. It's not my job to say, you made this up. This is a figment of your imagination. Sure, the scientist or the atheist may say, yes, this was all just a figment of their imagination. That's what the brain does in a state of death or almost death. A spiritualist or a religious person may say, no, this was divine. It was God, demons, or angels. I wasn't there. It is not my job to say you are wrong or you are right. But I will say this. I can't prove it. What comes after? I've not been there yet. And once I'm there, chances I'm not coming back. So in my mind, even to say there is nothing after death is also another theory. And for some brings comfort, this idea of there is justice in the fact that we're all going to be on the ground. And there's even Bible verses like that. There's even Bible verses that talk about it rains on the righteous and the wicked. And here too, in this song, I find this idea of basically saying, we're all going to be in the ground, no matter how grand or how unrenowned, which was nice rhyme scheme and songwriting. But even to say, no matter how grandiose you were or how unknown, right? When someone is renowned, they are known, they are famous. Unrenowned would be the opposite. We didn't know you. You were, nobody really, but it doesn't matter, because regardless of how grand or unrenowned, we're all going to be in the ground. And so that is a powerful way of someone dealing with the pain that comes with dealing with death. When you receive a diagnosis as severe as terminal cancer or cancer in general or any diagnosis, and you come face to face with your mortality, you have to deal, or may or may not choose to deal with, really hard questions, such as, what did I do with my life? Such as, where am I going? Life has spoiled me like no other. I got it easy. I had fun. And this song, the end of the show, La Fin du Show, I feel also showcases this reflection, this sense of going, okay, what did I do with my life? Can I really say that I had a good time? Yes, I lived life to the fullest. I did all these things. Was on the jets. I traveled the world. And as an artist and a musician himself, that very well can be said, right? You did a lot of things with your life. I sang in the biggest venues, from Paris to Montreal. I benefited from the heat of the fame and the spotlight. And then, though, now saying, one day, life catches up with you and it hits you like a truck, right? When you receive a diagnosis, when you come face to face with your mortality, that will hit you like a truck. Because even though in theory we all know we're going to die, we don't think about it actively. Most of us don't sit there really thinking about death. For one, that's really morbid, pun intended, but also we're busy living life. So there's this dance between understanding a mortality and seizing life and making the most of it because we're finite, but now not being consumed with our death anxieties and now being so paralyzed you can't live life. And now you're so busy worrying about death. It's, again, this dichotomy of life. And then to get to this idea of this is the final show, not just most likely the end of a real music show, but literally the end of the show of our life being the stage, our life being the show. It's a shadow of myself. And he speaks, in the lyrics, he speaks of himself as fading, right? The seams coming apart. It's a very painful and honest picture of explaining what is happening to the body when you're ill or when you're getting old. This isn't just a cancer diagnosis. This is also anyone who is noticing, I'm getting older. Honestly, I think many of us have those moments. Even it's expedited when you have a diagnosis and the doctor gives you a specific limit. But it's even present in our lives, creeping in the background when we look in the mirror and we see lines appear and it hits us and we go, wait a minute. Time is not going backwards. I can't undo. And that is heavy and hard to deal with. And so to paint such a picture of honest things just coming apart, the seams coming apart, it's something you can't undo. Things are just running through your fingers and you can't stop it. And that'll trigger some anxieties, I won't lie. I would have taken more. So that's it. That's where we're at. I would have taken more. It's already the last stop. Me, who loved life so much, everything is over. I can't sing anymore. I'm sick and tired with all of it. Man, and that's heavy. This is painful. Maybe that's why people were also crying, because they knew of his diagnosis. But to be able to talk about your life's end and to honestly process all those fears that come crashing in when it comes to death and life, and wanting to live longer, having lived a good life, being able to say, I had fun, this was great, but still not wanting it to be over and dealing with that fear that comes with the uncertainty of death. And then to speak of shutting down the lights, really as if it's the end of the show, the curtains are closing, and to speak of it as in my brothers in tears and blood. It's the end of the show, right? Reflecting on the relationships we have, his band members and friends, and all of us, right? When we reflect on the people that were, it's going to make me emotional, the people that we were so honored to cross paths with in this lifetime. It's more than just relationships, family and friends that come and go. These are literally, out of billions of people, the people who, with tears and blood, we have forged relationships with, either blood through family or tears through all the emotions that come with living life together. Even more so amplified when your friends find out that you're not going to be with them anymore, right? It brings fear and trauma for the person that is sick, but also for the family members who don't want to lose you. There's so many emotions. It's complicated. It's heavy. And to then speak of all the lies and the bullshit that happens at the end and all the theories that are out there about what will come after, and his way of dealing with that and saying, no, man, I don't believe there's a heaven or paradise or hell, or we're all going to get another turn. None of that's true. His way of dealing with his death anxieties and existential fears and saying, no, this is what happens. Walking into an endless night. This is what it's going to be. That's the end of the show for me. An endless night, a night that will never end. That sounds so morbid and hard to think of. And his way of dealing with his death anxieties, of saying, I lived my life. I hate this. This sucks. An honest conversation, not necessarily romanticizing, well, I had a good life, so I'm okay to go. Some of us might be. Some of us say that, and then when the time comes, we're terrified shitless. And others are fine, and they will look for that peace. Others long for it because life is hurting so much, but they don't really want to die. It's complicated. It's case by case. Everyone is experiencing this, and it's hard to convey even to your loved ones when you're going through this. It's a lonely path, but yet it's also so terrifying for those who you leave behind. And what Jacqueline Lizzie did here with her voice, so honestly and beautifully, God, painful song, painful and scary and hard and beautiful because it's honest. And I love that about music is that through music, we can experience that catharsis and we can be honest about our fears and the reality that is. And again, for some, there is that comfort. And I don't think the point is to take that away. If someone truly finds comfort in the afterlife, as long as it's not hindering you in this life here, because that's what I do believe we actually know and have and are experiencing, there is comfort in believing in an afterlife or something more. But I think it's also important to understand what if there is not, and vice versa. If we believe there is nothing, to ponder, well, what if there is? Either way, what are you doing now? This is all we technically have. This moment, what are you going to do with it? Are we going to be able to really live life that our last heartbeat falls on the last page of our book? Regardless of how short or long our life is, will we be able to say, my last heartbeat fell on the last page because I filled the pages of my book? No matter how many pages that book has, 10, 2, 80, 95. Have you filled those pages? Have you savored life? Oh, yeah, it's hard. It's heavy. I wish I had the remedy to ease all of your death anxieties, but I have my own. And somehow this is a door we all have to walk through and figure out what brings us comfort. But I admire, even if I'm not saying I believe all the conclusions that Carl had come to in his death anxieties and existential fears, because they too may just be a theory, right? That finding peace in there being nothing, or that's the justice in all of this injustice. That was his way of dealing with it. And it's honest. And I respect that. The honesty of saying, I'm going to talk about this. And I think so many people don't recognize how much existential fears and death anxieties weave into their being and why they do what they do and how they do it. And so for someone to have such an honest conversation and to then knowing now for us who are left behind, knowing that was the final show for him and he's gone now. That is sombering. Sombering is all get out. How does this make you feel? Talk to me, you guys. Go check out Jacqueline Lizzie's music. I love this. Très bien. Merci beaucoup. I think she did a fantastic job. I love the sincerity and the honesty that her voice brought. It was authentic. And I think that's what made this song so impactful. It wasn't just the cover. And I admire her for it. Go check it out. Go check out the original. And I will see you on the next ride. Thank you for this suggestion, Joel. I appreciate you. Appreciate you all. Subscribe. I'll see you on the next ride. Ayo!